Hey, I, like the rest of you, have been living in Gen AI land for the last few months, and I just saw a demo, and I've seen lots of demos about generating user stories, and I think there might be a confusion on what on earth a user story is. So let's talk about it. Here we have like an example of a story, right? Or at least maybe something that's not a story. You've got this in Jira, Confluence, a spreadsheet written on a note card, who cares? But it says, update the account status to pending if a user opens a complaint during automated onboarding. So I've seen this as the input to a lot of Gen AI tools to say, hey, this is not a story. This is just a description of a requirement. We need to generate a story out of this. So what does that mean exactly? Well, we can come over here and say, like, maybe this is a story. You've got it in the Connextra format. So I've generated this into the as a I want so that. So as an onboarding specialist, I want account set depending if a complaint is open during onboarding. Okay, so you took the thing before, you generated this. Maybe this is a story. Or maybe it's the system it goes in. Maybe the other thing was just like typed into a prompt, or it's in a Word document, or just written by hand on a note card, and you've scanned it in and now you've loaded it into Jira. And maybe now it's a story, now that it's in a Jira issue type called story. Or maybe this is the right format. Given an account is being auto-onboarded, when a user opens a complaint, then the account status is set to pending. We've got it in given when then, you've got some good testable acceptance criteria. So now I've generated a story, right? Like that thing before was not a story. This is clearly a story. Is that true? Like maybe some of those formats are easier or better for specific use cases. Maybe your group prefers them, can work off of them. Maybe that's a working agreement you have. But is that a story? What makes it a story? Well, don't take my word for it. Let's talk to Ron Jeffries, who was the originator of the 3 C's of user stories. Let's go back to extreme programming, where stories came from. What is this idea of concept of stories? What makes a story a story? Well, a story is called that. It's not called a template or an idea. It's called a story, and you tell stories, right? A story is requirements by conversation. That means human people talking to each other. And Ron Jeffries said a good, healthy story has 3 C's. A card, which could be any one of these things, and a million other formats. Each of these is small enough to fit on a card, right? We've got like a little bit of detail here. Cool. A card, which is a short snippet to remind you to have the conversation. So this means developers and stakeholders getting together, really understanding what it is we're trying to build so that we can co-create and use the best of all of our brains, and maybe even an AI coach to help us think through the different scenarios and different conditions that maybe we forgot. But the conversation to build understanding, and then confirmation. How will we test this thing? How will we prove that what we want it to do is actually, it's going to work that way. It actually is going to do what we said it would do. So maybe, just maybe, AI has a space, but it's not generating stories. There's no such thing. You can't generate a conversation. What it is helping us do is maybe getting it the format you want, maybe helping you think through the health of this written up story, or like, are there things that we haven't thought about? I love AI as coach in this scenario. So, hey, I've got this thing here that says update an account. What am I not thinking of? Do I need to worry about other scenarios? Like, what if it was already in a pending state? Do I care about that? What if the account is like, there was some other error condition? What if as we're going through this, I need to worry about like accounts that have multiple owners and only one of them opened a complaint? Does this still happen? Are there other scenarios I need to think through? AI as coach can help you like think deeper about what it is you're doing, but it's not going to generate the idea for you, nor should it. And even if it did, remember, we want to build this thing together and use all of our collective brain power, human and computer together, which means we need to have people talking through these things to build shared understanding, to make sure we know architecturally, how is this going to work? How will it fit into our larger ecosystem? How will this make people feel? Is this going to interrupt our business processes in a way that we hadn't thought about? Is this the right time to roll out this feature? Is this really the most important thing to do right now? What is our current capacity? What's our current user capacity for change? All of these things that we need humans together with computers as coach. But please, don't think you're generating a user story just because you're putting it in a system or a format.